One of WWF Zimbabwe's strategic objectives is to support the creation of an enabling technical and policy environment for renewable energy access and investments in the country. As a part of achieving this objective, WWF Zimbabwe piloted biogas as a possible solution in reducing the over-reliance on wood energy by households in the mid-Zambezi landscape under a Swedish International Development Agency (SIDA) funded project. The project was implemented in partnership with Environment Africa and community-based organizations with technical support from the Ministry of Energy and Power Development and the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Rural Settlement. Under the project, rural communities in Mudzi and Mutoko districts demonstrated that this technology can produce clean energy from jatropha seed cake and other available biomass.
Chirongwa ichi chakatanga kuburikidza nekubika sipo dzejatropha. Tiri mumagrupu ekubika sipo dzejatropha. Saka mumagrupu imomo ndo maingotorwawo mumwe nomumwe achigadzirirwawo biogas. Kubva parakagadzirwa biogas kusvika pari zvinezvi handi kutoona ini upenyu hwangu hunenge hwatochinja kudarika zvandanga ndimbori. Nokuti mumashure mese umu ndaiparadza masango ndichitema huni pagore ndaitotema ngoro 24 dzehuni tichienda kure kumakomo kunotema huni.
About 70% of the country's population is rural and dependent on fuel wood as the principal source of energy. The project is demonstrating how decentralized biogas digesters can provide clean, reliable and alternative energy to marginalized rural communities to contribute towards reducing deforestation. It is also improving livelihoods through agricultural production from biogas substrate.
When we were conceptualizing this project, we were just coming to the end of an EU-funded project in which we're working with the same communities in Mudzi and Mutoko around jatropha processing and value addition. So what we then realized was that as they process jatropha, they get an oil and then they get a waste called jatropha seed cake. And then we're toying around with the idea of using that seed cake as a biomass and feed for them to get energy. So we then came about with the concept of putting together cattle manure and jatropha seed cake to mix it together and see if we can come up with a feed to use in biogas digesters. So we were working with about 11 CBOs in Mudzi and Mutoko, organizing them in a way in which they can begin to engage better with their local authorities, with government, to begin to request for some of these basic rights per se to better and cleaner energy services.
We had loved the project to proceed purely for many reasons, because it has assisted our communities to date to move on from the traditional way of sourcing energy from using firewood to alternative source of energy, which is a government trust in terms of alternative source of energy.
The majority of Zimbabweans in both rural and peri-urban areas rely on wood energy for cooking. Overdependence on fuel wood contributes to massive deforestation and respiratory diseases associated with indoor air pollution.
The major parts or the major components of the digester plant includes the inlet, which is made up of the mixing chamber, where the farmers mix the materials that are fed in the digester, which include 10 kgs jatropha seed cake, 30 kgs cow dung, and 80 liters of water. These materials are directed to the next component, that is the digester, where these materials are broken down or they decay, and in the process the bacteria will produce the gas.
When the gas is produced, it is directed to the house where it is used. The waste or the slurry from the digester comes out through an outlet leading to the slurry pit. The slurry is then collected by the farmers to make compost manure.
Pari zvino zvakundirerukira nokuti ndaane biogas. Hapasisina chandichaburitsa kana dhora kana 5 rand. Ndakubika nyore nyore nebiogas.
Pakulima kwandaita kudhara nemanyuwa emombe chete ndaita 15 bags, 15 matsaga ari 50 echibage. Pakusenzesa ndakuita biogas ndakuwana 25 bags dzechibage paega. Saka ndikuona kuti mutsauko wekumanyuwa ekubiogas uri pamberi kupfuura mupfudze wemombe wega wega.
When working with communities, what sells more are the softer elements, the changes in quality of life. Because you're looking at the reduction in load in terms of women, the improvement in quality of life for the children. For them, it's that which stands out more than us trying to talk about conservation. So it's very important to make sure that whatever technology you're putting out there responds to the humanity factor. And then when it does respond to issues around livelihoods and quality of life, it's actually easier for people to take it on, and then it's a win-win scenario.
Another key lesson is for such projects to prosper, there is need for sustainable financing mechanisms tailored for rural communities. Energy access has become a key determinant in socio-economic development. The stories from Mudzi and Mutoko districts are sending key messages that biogas technologies can improve sustainable energy access, contribute to the reduction of deforestation caused by cutting down of trees for firewood, minimize greenhouse gas emissions, and preserve ecosystem services.